Hey y'all, and welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Earlier we covered um, Roger Foster case earlier, and so this evening, this night, whatever you want to call it, and we're gonna cover Young Thugger trial. You know, this is my boy. So we're not go get you something to drink, go get you something to eat, but we're gonna try to react to it as we go, okay? That's how we do it in this channel. And I want to go with something. House rule in the chat. Be mindful and respectful, okay? Uh, Please follow the guidelines, okay? And let's respect one another, okay? Here we go. I think what I'm going to do. How's everybody doing? I want to give a shout out to all the graduates, graduating, all the kids who getting all those certificates. Congratulations to the parents and the grandmother, grandfather, and daddies, mothers of those kids who graduate and get promoted to the next level. Thank you for being respectful in school and to your parents. All right, y'all, we about to turn over to Young Thugger trial. Okay.
Go ahead and summon our witness, please, Agent Racy. And then go ahead and, sorry, now, if you could, I promoted you again. You can go ahead and get our jurors ready, sir.
Trying to make sure. When I don't have my glasses on. Now, y'all, we got Mr. Steele up here. He's going to continue where he left out at, uh, questioning the witness.
As long as it doesn't involve our witness here, he's already, okay, what's your question, sir?
There is a professional among us. She works with the Honorable Lawrence Zimmerman. Maybe Rebecca, R-E-B-E-C-C-A, R-E-A-R-A-D-I-S.
Why are you bringing up Lawrence Zimmerman?
I love Lawrence.
I don't. He's got a terrible tie on. He's always, pontificating and whatever the like. Mr. Zimmerman, you're always welcome as a public spectator. Good welcome, sir. Yeah. All right.
His co-worker has been helping. His one note was okay not to sit with us. And his master sheriff, he said that.
Okay, Mr. Steele. Okay, my buddy.
As long as you can get space allocations, that's fine. Okay. Good. Is it jury? Okay, all right. Anything else before I bring in our jurors? Okay, all right. Summon our jurors, please, sir.
Get up, Young Thugger. Me and you got to get on a diet, baby. A diet. Woo. I know I done picked up some summer.
I'm getting this back. So I don't lose it. It may have been marked as an exhibit anyways.
Oh boy, I know he be looking good. And then when they don't gain that weight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All jurors are present, sir? Okay, thank you, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, good morning. All right, sorry for the delay. It took a little bit longer to take up our business this morning, so we appreciate your patience in that respect. Agent Racy, good morning again, sir, and just a reminder you're under oath. And Ms. Hilton, you may continue, ma'am.
Your Honor, please.
Mr. Steele, I'm sorry, Mr. Steele, you may continue your examination.
It's okay. Oh, goodness.
Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Good morning, Agent.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Steele. All right. I believe yesterday we stopped, we were talking about it, if I could just refresh your memory. And if I leave something out, just tell me, but I believe we were at Brian Williams' phone. That's what I remember. Or the phone that we, through your investigation, attributed to Mr. Brian or Birdman Williams. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'd like to discuss that. And just for the jurors' edification, that should be the number 2920. Is that accurate?
I thought we were doing that 8553 was the number.
8553. I have that as Jeffrey Williams' purported phone.
Yes, is that what you were asking? I'm sorry.
No, I'm going
on,
to.
Mr.
Yes,
Steele.
we'll use those records.
Yes, okay, yes.
I see what you're saying. Yes.
Come on
We
now.
will use the records, and I think it's on the screen already. Let me get the exhibit number. That should be exhibit number 137E.
Y'all
Your
gotta be
Honor.
ready.
It's displayed. Is that okay, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's already admitted. All right. On those records now, I'd like to talk about the gentleman known as Brian Williams or Birdman. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
And through your investigation, did you look into that gentleman's background?
What do you mean by background?
What he does for a living, his occupation?
I know his occupation, yes.
Okay, tell the jurors if you don't mind.
I mean, he was a music artist and then at least owned Cash Money Records. I guess it would be a manager or producer. I don't know the exact title at that point in time.
But you said
he
you knew.
certainly owned that and then had artists signed underneath his label.
Okay. And those artists include people that you've discussed in this case?
Some of them have been discussed in this case. At least one of them has been discussed in this case.
And tell the jurors who that one is.
So under Cash Money Records, there'd be the YMCMB, which is, well, without going into that, it would be Dwayne Carter, Lil Wayne would be signed underneath the Cash Money Records through the YMCMB.
Okay. And Birdman Williams, Brian Williams, performer known as Birdman, 2920, correct?
I believe that is correct, 2920.
Let's make sure.
I'm sure it is.
Okay, let's talk about those. Using, as you said, Jeffrey Williams records that are in evidence under State's Exhibit number 137E. If you don't mind, let's do a search for how many times that they correspond or connect, I think is the right word, right? Is that true?
I would say just connect, yeah.
Okay. If I can ask Haley to do that search and then you help us. Okay, do you see the number there?
I do. The same issue. It looks like the 1/9, so possibly 9 times throughout the entire document.
Okay, and the jurors probably remember, but just for simplicity, Jeffrey Williams records go from January 1, 2015 to
July 15th, 2015, I believe it was.
So we have 9 contacts, and if you don't mind, we're going to go through those, okay?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, so the first contact, if Haley can take us to that. You see where it's highlighted, and jurors, you can help them. That should be item number 1125 or 1125. Is that fair to say?
Agreed? Yes, sir.
And that's January 28, 2015?
It appears so.
and then it's 1905. So you have to do, these are AT&T records, so you have to do the conversion. Is that correct?
-4, yep, system.
So -4, just do it for them, or I could do it, but
Either way. So 19 -4 would be 15. And so converting 15 into Eastern Standard Time, or excuse me, from military time to the 12-hour clock would just be 3:05 p.m.
okay. And that is a 1 second seizure time, meaning as you looked on your cheat sheet or the AT&T codes, that's how long it took for the.
Correct. The dial time would be the seizure time from what we learned and the key. And then the ET would be the time of the actual connection, or the connection of the phones, whether it be voicemail, whether it be communication through voice, that's just the connection time.
Okay. And in this one, it shows 1 second from the person pressing the send, and then it had 0, so there's no connection. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that appears correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. And just for correctness, that would be Jeffrey, what I'm calling Jeffrey's phone. I understand that, it's the phone that you designate Jeffrey Williams, the 8553, calling the 2920. So calling Mr. Brian Williams' phone. Fair to say?
It appears that way. Yes, sir.
Okay. If we can go to the next one. Okay. And this one is item number 3758, 3758. Fair?
Yes.
And again, we're talking about a couple of months later, so we're in March 30th, 2015.
Yes.
And then that one is at 241, if you can do the conversion.
Okay. So -4 again would put us at 22. So that would be 10 p.m. But then you have to convert it from 2200 into Eastern Standard Time. So it's 10 p.m.
About 1041, is that fair to say?
Yes.
At night.
41. Correct, sir.
And then now we have a 12-second elimination time from the time the person hit the send. It was trying to connect for at least 12 seconds. Is that how the record reads?
Correct. And then the connection 4 seconds. Yes, sir.
And there's a 4-second connection. That again, the way I read it is Jeffrey's phone, the 8553 number, calling Mr. Brian Birdman Williams' phone 2920. Is that correct?
That appears correct.
Okay. Then you have, I believe, right under it. It's line number 3759.
Yes, sir.
Same date, and it's 7 minutes later. Fair to say?
Fair to say.
And this is a 18-second trying to connect. And it says 0 conversation.
Fair.
Okay. And then this is the opposite. This is Mr. Brian Williams' phone. Fair to say?
Yes.
And for the juror's edification, through your investigation, do you have any evidence that Mr. Brian Williams is related? When I say related, I mean blood relation to Mr. Jeffrey Williams.
Yeah, to my knowledge, no familial relation.
Okay. The next contact is right underneath it, 3760, 3760. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the exact same date and same time. You see that?
I do.
And then we have the same thing, Mr. Brian Williams, performer known as Birdman, 21 second, his calls trying to get through to Jeffrey Williams' phone. It doesn't connect. Is that okay?
Yes, and we see what it did there below, but yes, connect.
Okay.
Roll to voicemail.
Okay, and that's the next number.
Correct. So that's where you see the D and the F. So it forwarded to that number, which is going to be AT&T's probably voicemail number. And then we see that actually on to the right, what's highlighted. Yep. We see that it says VM, so it's indicating that it's voicemail. So that's what we see with those extra.
Okay. Yeah, keep going.
This is small print. Can you just point to the jurors what you were just referring to the VM, if you don't mind, behind you on the screen?
So these kind of codes right here, that VM in the middle is voicemail. That's kind of what we're seeing here. The D is for the number dialed, F is for the call forwarding, and then we see that is the actual connected number, and that's likely in the key. We can look in the information, but that's likely going to be just AT&T's rollover to voicemail number. And again, we see that indicates voicemail. We see that it was the number dialed and number forwarded.
Yeah. Okay.
And then all that sequence, that is another contact according to the records. That's why we had 9, right?
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Yes, sir.
So they're kind of clustered, but that explains the records.
So, okay, you're talking about the 2920 while we see this cluster here?
Yeah, like the three, what you're looking at, the items starting at 3758, going through three.
I see what you're saying. Those are clustered. Yes, sir. I see what you're saying.
So even though it says 9 contacts, the contacts could be right up against each other.
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one, if you don't mind, the next one goes to actually today, 9 years ago. Is that correct? May 16th?
Yeah. May the 16th,
Yes, sir. 2015.
2015.
And that's item number 1945. Is that true?
Correct, sir. It looks like we went from the call logs to, I think we went to the text logs here, the SMST.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like we got a different description code there. So this isn't going to be, that's why we're not seeing the dial time, seizure time. We're not seeing that. So it looks like we rolled over to another part of the records.
Agent, would you do me a favor, just point all that out to the jurors if you don't
Yeah.
mind, explain to them, the difference earlier that they've been seeing and what they're seeing there?
So it kind of looks different if you're paying attention, but what we see here under the description, SMS, kind of old school for text messages, and then a T on the end. So the description code changed. We no longer see like the dialing time and the connection time. We only see connection time. So that's just going to be the time that the text went through, presumably. But obviously the document just kind of appears different because we rolled over from the part of the document that was doing the call log. So now we're into the text log of these records.
Okay, so it went from the phone
Yes,
to
sir.
the text.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay.
And then the next one, the 9th one, contact is right underneath it. It's 1946. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Same time. And it's also Mr. Brian Williams texting Jeffrey Williams' phone. Is that how it reads?
Yes, sir.
So just in summary, we're really talking about
Prior to Contrave, my eating habits were horrendous. It wasn't until I found a nurse practitioner.
contact on January 28th, 2015, and March 30th, 2015, where we can show no real conversation, according to these records.
Right.
According to these records, that's correct. These
Right.
records.
I'm not saying they don't have contact. I'm saying according to these records.
So these records, yes, sir, on these numbers. Yes,
And
sir.
then
y'all.
we jump to May 16th for 2 texts from Mr. Brian Williams to Jeffrey Williams. That's what we got.
Appears so, sir.
All right. And that should be 9 of 9 according to you.
Appears so.
Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'd like to go and you explain it to the jury, but you went pretty fast. I mean, not fast, but earlier when you were doing your direct examination with the honorable prosecutor, you also gave us insight into a phone that ends in 5979. Do you recall that one?
Yes.
If you're looking at something, it's no problem, but just tell the jurors what you're looking at so they could follow along if needed.
I'm just trying to find it so I can speak accurately on it. 5979, you said, sir?
If you don't mind.
It's your cross-examination.
Be nice, Mr. Steele. Be nice.
Yes, that's going to be States Exhibit 138 Echo, and then the Echo Alpha and continuing. But yes,
Now, tell the jurors the reason, based upon your investigation, that you sought those records and who they potentially, I understand all the caveats, but who they potentially align with.
yes. So this is the one that I did just a subpoena for. So we did not get location data from these records. And then it's the name associated with it is the YSL Duke name as the registered, the party, the contact name on it.
And that's fine, we could talk about that one. But
You said 5790, correct, sir?
if I did, because we already talked about that other one, right?
Okay.
I was talking about 5979, and if I said it,
5979. Okay, I'm sorry.
yes, and then tell us that code as well. Okay, when I say code, I should have said state's exhibit number.
Oh, you have more? Okay.
Hey, Your Honor, for clarity, can we have the full number of what number Mr. Steele is referencing?
If you could give us the number, please. I can absolutely do that. It is 504-723-5979.
Yeah, I don't believe those phone numbers.
I don't see up here, Mr. Steele. I think,
All right.
unless I don't have all of them, I don't think we have that one.
Okay, well, let's do it this way. Is that come up in your investigation?
Can I refresh my memory about our report before? Because if it's not here and we haven't talked about it recently, then of course.
And I'm not telling you I'm right, but it may be around page 13 of your report, if that helps you. And again, it is 5979.
Mr. Steele trying to do something. Man, I see what you trying to do, Steele. Uh-huh. Mr. Steele, if the number not on there, baby, please tell me so we won't waste no time.
Unless I'm looking in the wrong place, Mr. Steele, I don't see 57 or 59.
5979.
Yes, sir.
It's not on page 13.
I don't see that, sir.
Give me 1 second. Your Honor, may I just have 1 second?
Yes, you can, sir.
Thank
Hey, y'all. Mr. Steele add a number on there.
you. Right near it. Page 68.
68.
Page 68.
I should have known by my
I started questioning myself over here.
don't question yourself.
Page 68.
It was nowhere close to 13.
And what were you saying the last four were, sir? 5979?
5979, that's correct.
Okay, so according to the report, that's going to be a contact number for the account associated with Brian Williams, that 2920. So that name is entered into the subscriber information as a contact number for the Brian Williams 2920 phone. If that gives you.
So just for completeness, I want to run those numbers on Jeffrey Williams' records, which have already been admitted into evidence, okay?
Okay. All right.
Haley, if you can help us and show the jury. And again, Your Honor, was showing State's Exhibit 137E with the court's permission. It's already in it. Yes, sir.
Mr. Steele be on it, boy.
Did you find that number? I know you said it's associated with Mr. Brian Williams' cash money. Is that what you told the jury earlier?
It's listed as a contact number for the 2920 account.
Okay. And the 2920 is what we just talked about. That's Mr. Brian Williams or Birdman performing.
That's the number that I had probable cause and got a search warrant for in reference to this investigation.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to be complete because it has something to do with Mr. Brian Williams. So, Haley, I think just run, you could check it. According to Jeffrey Williams' records, tell the jurors whether Jeffrey Williams has any contact with the association number of 5979 of Mr. Brian Williams.
It appears not.
All right. Let's go to, a person who you had through your investigation, a cell number for a gentleman named Shannon Stillwell.
I don't know if we have it in evidence, but I know the name came up in the investigation. Yes, sir.
Can you look at now page 13 if you don't mind?
Page 13.
Tell me if that refreshes your memory.
All right.
And what that number is or numbers are. We're gonna have to spell out those numbers for the jurors too, if they haven't heard them before.
So, if I recall correctly, Shannon Stillwell also goes by Shannon Jackson.
Okay?
Correct.
Sure.
And so that name, I do have a phone number listed. If you don't mind me just for ease, just reading it off.
Yes, please.
404
Just go slow, please. People are writing.
957 3059 is what we have for Shannon Jackson.
wonder why they were calling Thug.
And that's just under the name portion of the report.
Okay, does he have two numbers in your report? And if not,
It looked duplicative. It looked like it was the same number on there twice.
can you just look closer? And if they are different, just read them both, and we'll do them both.
So there's a digit change, 404-951-3059, I think would be the other one. So it's same area code, same.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned as we
Here we
attempt to
go.
commune with the devil.
Butterfinger that day. Hold on, guys. My fault. I don't know what I just did. I did that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, must still be right here.
134E is at it's number 1414091, and it's April 18, 2015, and it is the Dolly number or the sister number calling Jimmy Winfrey number. 3-second connection. You see that? I do. And that's next one is 418, and this is
Put my
the same
glasses
thing. No connection, but it's again the Dolly sister number calling the Jimmy Winfrey number. Fair to say?
Yes.
All right, the next one, again, the same date, 418, but this is the Jimmy Winfrey number calling and connecting for 46 seconds as far as we know, according to the records with the sister's number, right?
That's correct.
All right, we're getting close here. Next one is 419, and again, it's the sister's number connecting or calling and connecting 1 minute 59 seconds with the number to Jimmy Winfrey.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
All right, now again, 419, it's the same scenario. Sister calling Jimmy Winfrey 14 seconds, right?
Yes.
Next one is 420, and we are at a 34-second call, and again, it's the sister calling Jimmy Winfrey.
Yes.
The next 3-second call, the same date, 420, sister calling Jimmy Winfrey.
Yes.
The one after that is again, later that same day, 2-second connection. Same situation, fair to say?
Yes.
All right, then we go to 423, and you have the sister's number calling Jimmy Winfrey. That's a 7-minute, 5-second communication as far as we can tell from the records.
Fair.
All right, and then the next one again is later at 423. It's a 2-minute, 14-second contact, and that has Mr. Winfrey calling the sister.
Yes.
All right. The next one is the 15,003, 424.15, and that's a 1-minute connection, and it is the sister calling Mr. Winfrey.
Yes.
Now we're at 426, and we have to do the conversion for these records, fair to say?
Yes.
So even though it says 426 at 306, you move back 4 hours, so we're really right before midnight.
11:06.
Okay, at night, 11:06 at night.
Correct. 11:06 Eastern.
And we're really on Saturday, the 25th of April, fair to say?
Correct.
And that is the sister 2-second connection calling Jimmy Winfrey, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then they talk or try to connect, whatever the right word is, but the phones on the record shows some sort of attempt later that day.
This is very important,
on
guys.
These calls with the state. Fair to say on direct examination, so the jury see it?
We did.
All right. I'd like to use these records, if I could, for the call between the 1990 number, the sister's number, and the Martinez-Arnold. Remember talking about that with District Attorney on direct for the jury?
Yes.
And Martinez-Arnold, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to tell you it's 5790. If that's wrong, just let me know.
That sounds correct.
Okay, if you need to check it, I'm sure it's in front of you, just please make sure. All right, so if we look in April, you focused on, and this is exhibit number 139 134E.
Let's see that 1,
And
3,
this
4,
is
8.
April 26th. And do you
Okay.
see that 5790 YSL Duke?
Yes.
All right. And
Okay, I see it.
that's at 7:07, and that's important because if we subtract the 3 hours, excuse me, all right, subtract the 4 hours, we're at 3:07 a.m.
That's correct.
on the day of the shooting, and we know from your testimony and from the jurors heard the 911
That's right.
call, that's a 314 911 call. Fair to say?
That is correct.
All right. Now, analyzing this, and it's lit up by Haley as item number 15,240. You see that?
I do.
And this is a call, presumably from the 1990 Sisters number to the YSL Duke phone. Fair?
Fair.
And I know I'm not going to ever repeat it. We don't know where the YSL Duke phone is or who has it. Fair to say?
Fair to say.
All right.
That's right.
And that is a 3-second total connection.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Then immediately underneath that is the 15,241. So it's the next entry. You see that?
I do.
And this is what you discussed with the prosecution as well. It's the exact same time, right? The
Yes,
307.
307, correct.
And it's the exact same duration of the initiation of the call, the 2 seconds, fair to say?
That's correct.
And then it has an extra second of the elapsed time.
That's correct.
So it has 4 seconds.
Correct.
But
Okay.
this one has an F. Can you look at your cheat sheet for this is AT&T records, correct?
Correct.
Can you just figure that out for us if you don't mind?
So the C, F, and R, which we see to the right, is the furthest right thing highlighted.
Yeah.
That stands for call forwarding, no reply.
Okay.
So it attempted to call forward.
And then nobody reply.
No reply is what,
Explain it to the jury, just so people may understand that, but some people may not.
well, it attempted to call forward and to my.
Y'all make sure y'all answer the poll now, because it's going to be very
What
important.
specifically means, but it's call forwarded and there's no reply. So I guess the voicemail did not answer. The voicemail did not pick up. I'm not sure what that means.
Okay. And we
Just
don't
what it
see
mean.
the YSL Duke phone number ending in 5790, should be. We don't see that connecting to the Dolly number, the 1990, or the sister number, 1990. Fair to say?
And what we're looking at, that's fair to say, correct.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I'd like to ask you, on these records, just going down now, and if it's important to say who the person is calling, the numbers, just say that. But I just want to continue, if you don't mind. It goes from, you see, it's 7:07, which I know is 4:07 in the morning. So we're talking about 7 minutes before the 911 call. Fair to say?
Yes.
All right. And then the next one is 7:08. You see that?
708.
It just went away, but
We're still talking about the 5790. You said anything
Yeah.
important, but you're specifically talking about 5790.
5790, just the use of the phone is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it was used at 3:07. I'm doing the conversion.
I'm tracking. I'm just trying to make sure I understood your question about importance.
Just listen.
The next one is to Jimmy Winfrey's number is 7:08, correct? Or let me,
The 708 time. Yes, I see what you're saying. Yes.
which would be now 6:08, which is 8 minutes before, no, 6 minutes before the 911 call.
Say his
Correct.
number.
All right, and if we go down to the next one. Okay, and it's item number 15,246. See that now it's 7:14, which will be 3:14, which is identical to the time that we believe the 911 call. Fair to say?
Fair.
And that is again calling the Jimmy Winfrey phone from the sister phone, right?
Yes.
And then 7:15, you have the same Jimmy Winfrey phone calling the sister phone, and when I say 7:15, we're subtracting 3 hours, so it's a minute after the 911
So
call.
right here.
Okay.
What?
And then
I be making
there's
point.
the usage at 7:16 or 3:16 and 3:18, then 10 minutes later, 3:28,
I don't know why he
3:36,
calling
and the
so
jurors
much.
can see it, but up until 7:38, the phone was being used, except that 10-minute break, pretty much every minute. Fair to say? According to the records.
Say that question one more time. That up from what time to what time was being used every minute?
You see the 10-minute break from 7:28 to 7:36?
Yes, I see what you're talking about, yes.
And then you have 7:37, 7:37.
Oh, yeah, right.
7:38, 7:38. That's what I was just saying.
Yes.
And then there's another break for approximately an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Well, it was 7:38 to the 7:53.
Oh,
and then
7:53. I know I'm looking at this
I
thing, right?
apologize. Explain that to the jury.
No, after the 7:38, which is 3:38, there's the jump to, what is that, like
8 o'clock,
15,
almost
20
8
minutes,
o'clock.
whatever it is after.
2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. And then we get to 7:53, where the 5790 connects. So that's 3:53. Well, again, connects is
Got
they
to
try
do
to
it.
communicate, but it looks like it didn't go through. And
And then
hit the
it forward to the
Okay.
voicemail.
All right. With regards to Jimmy Winfrey's phone, so this phone, the 1990, the sister's phone,
Okay.
according to the records, the phone is being used or trying to be used, meaning trying to connect during the relevant period of time that we believe the shooting is occurring or has occurred. Is that fair to say?
correct around the approximate time, yes.
Do you have any evidence that you've done through your investigation that any app or FaceTime or anything that doesn't show on records was being used by that 1990 phone during this time?
I have no way of showing that.
That's what I want to see.
If we go to before we leave the sister's records, can you just do me a favor? I'm going to go back to the Shannon Jackson rather, number. I think that's the number that you said ends in 3059.
Correct. That's just the number we had in the police report. I didn't do any legal process.
3059. Let me find it.
So, and by that, just to jurors understand, there's a good faith belief you wouldn't put in your report. I'm not saying you'd make it up, that that's a number associated with Shannon Jackson or Shannon Stillwell, but you didn't verify that beyond that. Is that what you're saying?
So that phone number may or may not be his phone number at the time of the incident. The way that our records management system works is when we're putting in the names or they're getting entered from patrol or an investigator, it goes through a name candidating process. So you don't have duplicate entries for the same David Racy. And so if the name has already been entered and is being entered in again, they'll pull the information from that prior entry. So that phone number, just because it's in the police report, that's just a phone number that's associated with him somewhere in Cobb County records, somewhere, somehow, sometime. But the accuracy of that, I have no way of knowing. If I didn't do a legal process on it or didn't do an independent investigation trying to query it, then that could be inaccurate for Shannon Stillwell's phone number, or it could be accurate because it came in there.
This don't make no
somewhere,
sense what he's
whether an
saying.
accident report, a ticket, whether it could come in there multiple different ways into the record management system.
With that background, with your permission, I just want to search that number.
You can search that number. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Haley, do you mind searching that? Thanks. And just make sure she put in the correct number if you don't mind.
They've really got somebody to read a
That
report.
look right?
Page 13. I'll just check it just for accuracy.
Page 13, according to me. Yes, sir.
See, Mr. Steele on to something. Mr. Steele is on it.
Yes, that appears accurate.
And then just tell the jurors in this honorable court what the result is on the Dolly record. Well, excuse me, I keep missing one. The sister record, 1990.
No matches were found.
All right. I'd like to do now go to Jimmy Winfrey records, if you don't mind. And Your Honor, that is in evidence, and that is 133E, with the court's permission.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And this should be the 3383 number, fair to say?
2383.
And just for orientation, this is the 30 days, April 1 to April 30th,
Correct, sir.
2015. Okay. Now, if we can
Man, we
just
gotta
do
come to
a
this.
quick search for Shannon Jackson or Shannon Stillwell's number with the caveats that you gave us.
Sure.
Haley, if that's okay. Do you need the number again? And this is showing on the Honorable Court screen for the Honorable Jury. This is Mr. Winfrey, State Exhibit Number 133A, the 3883, okay?
Yes, sir.
I see
All right.
it. Right here.
You, sir.
They're right here.
Is that because he's covered?
What is they talking about? Come on. It's the same thing.
We can scroll down. Did you hear what she said?
I heard what she said.
Do you have it? No, that's okay. That's okay. She just scrolled down for that 1 month. Do you see any connection to the Shannon Jackson, Shannon Stillwell potential, I'm using that word, phone number here in these records?
And for clarity, which of the two numbers are we using, and are we searching both numbers?
We'll do both.
Okay.
I just got to say something. Got to open up that mouth.
One second. I understand. But just show the jury the whole month and that if there's something lit up or something not lit up. And then run the second number as well. And Agent, do you know the second number? Can you announce that? I think there was one digit off.
9573059.
95709. See that number? I seen it. I seen 957.
Have you noticed anything highlighted?
No, sir.
Okay.
I don't see nothing highlighted.
Okay, now staying with the Jimmy Winfrey records. And these are the Sprint records, correct?
Sprint. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, going at the time, what I'm going to call the relevant time, juries obviously make that decision though, but from the late night on the 25th of April, going into the early morning hours of 26th of April, so Saturday night to Sunday.
Yes, sir.
If Haley can help us out with those dates.
I just don't know what we doing with these. I know they trying to find out what happened. Was the phone used? Was Thugger talking on the phone when this happened? But he's
You see
performing.
where
These on different days. This on the 25th.
okay. Let's just orient well, when she stops. Let's orient everybody. You see,
I don't
like
see-
these don't, what you tell the jury, do these need to be converted 4 hours earlier, or are these already in Eastern Standard Time?
No, as we stated before, the Sprint already converts it to Eastern Standard Time.
So starting towards the top, you see the item number 3796?
Yes,
Okay. And that is April 25, 2015 at approximately, that would be 10:28 in the evening?
correct.
All right. And then just seeing the flow there, that is, this is Mr. Winfrey's, this is Mr. Winfrey's records, correct?
These are Mr. Winfrey's records.
Okay. Well, we're calling Mr. Winfrey record 3383. Okay, and then Mr. Winfrey, if you come down, and I'm just skipping just for ease, to 426. And I'm getting close to the time of the shooting, if that's okay.
Okay, 426. Okay. So the shooting happened, y'all, on April the
If you
26th.
notice, there was a lot of trying to connect either one way or the other. People calling that number, the 3383 number, or the 3383 number, using the phone to try to connect to someone else. Is that fair to say?
There's a lot of communication going on the phone.
Sure it is.
And then I skipped ahead, but looking at, let's say, starting at 2:45 that morning, which is number 3845. You see how Haley just highlighted? Yes.
Okay.
Then we see that there are calls to that 3383 number and calls from the 3383 number starting, and I'm just looking at the times now in column, should be in column E, is that correct?
Yes,
All right, so we have 2:45 a.m., then 2:48 a.m., then 2:49 a.m., then 2:55, 2:57, 2:58, 2:59, then 3 o'clock in the morning, which is 14 minutes before the 911 call, fair to say?
yes,
And then 302, 303, 304, 307, you see where I am at item number 3867, okay?
Let's see where
And then again at 307 and 308,
right here.
numerous times, and then skips 6 minutes, approximately 3:14, the time of the actual 911 call, you see that?
yes, sir.
And then it goes again, 3:14. And then it continues, and the jurors can see, 3:15 and 3:26. You see all that?
I do.
Okay. Now, there's a call in there to the number that's 2920, what we called the Brian Williams performer known as Birdman.
That's correct.
And can you show that to the jurors? Do you see that anywhere on here?
Yeah. Yeah, she has it highlighted.
Okay. And that is a call for, and you told the jurors, do you remember how long that call is approximately?
535 seconds.
Give me an
Yeah.
estimate.
So whatever that comes out to be, 60 seconds per, I think it comes out to be like, what is it, 8 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, just under 10 minutes. 10 minutes would be 600, so this is 535.
Yeah, so like 8.5 minutes, whatever it comes out to be.
Sure, okay. Now, that call that is on Sound Record's screen for the jury on State's Exhibit 133E, that is originally made, according to these records, 3 minutes after the 911 call.
Okay.
And
That's correct.
it's about an 8-9 minute call, whatever the 5
Yeah, 8 minutes.
135 seconds is, right?
That's correct.
Do you have any evidence that the Jimmy Winfrey phone was using any app or FaceTime during this relevant period of time to share with the jury?
Again, we don't get that in these records. These are for call data and text data records. That's the information that's requested. If we request data, we don't know what type of data is being used. It could be YouTube,
well,
it
we
could be an
can't even
internet
use
search,
this.
it could be an app. We would have no way of knowing what data. We'd have to have the
Man, they did, they
you know what apps are on the
they
phone.
did something that gonna work for them.
But according
Correct.
to these records, that phone was using the phone in the typical way. When I say typical way, just hit send. That record would pick up during the relevant period of time of 307 to 314. Fair to say?
Correct. Standard phone calls are like pretty much what we're looking at right here.
Okay. Do you have any evidence Mr. Winfrey's phone, 3383, was using one of the apps, international apps, FaceTime, whatever the apps are. Do you have any evidence?
Again, I don't have that in these records. That's not the information.
That's what we need.
So the
That's
answer
what we
is
need
No, I
here.
don't have any information.
That's what we need.
All right. Do you have any evidence that Jeffrey Williams' phone was using any type of app, FaceTime, that would not come up on his records during this relevant period of time?
Again, I have no way of showing that, no.
Do you have any evidence that Jeffrey Williams was awake during the relevant period of time of the shooting?
I mean, I don't know if someone's awake or not. You can make assumptions off the phone records if.
This is not helping us, not the defense, not these phone records. No, they not helping.
I'd like to go to Jeffrey's phone records, which
Uh-oh.
is the 8553 number. If I'm wrong, you got to correct me, but that's
Let me get my
That's
glasses.
correct. And I'd just like to look in the April 2015 phone activity between the Jeffrey phone, the 8553, and the sister Dolly phone, the 1990, okay? For April. And
April.
if Haley can do that, that'd be great.
Come on, let's scroll down to April. Please vote because that poll vote, because this is very important, his phone records. And so we're going to start it on April the 3rd. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
talking.
she put in the 1990, and that's the phone we're using for the sister, fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And for the jurors to know, this is what we're calling Jeffrey Williams, number, the 8553, and it's in evidence states exhibit number 137E, Your Honor, it's on your screen.
So,
Okay, the first one is April 6, 2015, do you see that?
I do.
And that is the the sister phone calling Jeffrey's phone. It doesn't connect according to these records, fair to say?
Yes.
And then on the next line, it's the same exact time, 2026. And when I say line, entry number 4,219.
Yes.
And that again is the 1990 or the sister phone calling without connection to Jeffrey's phone. Fair to say?
Yes.
And then the next line is the same date. And it's 4220. It's the next entry. And that one goes to the voicemail like you explained to jurors.
yes.
And it's the sister phone calling the Jeffrey phone. Fair to say?
Yes.
And then the next one is, again, the sister phone. It's at entry 4221. Same time. It's a connection of 3 seconds. You see that?
I do.
All right. Let's see the next time that these phones connect. Now, we're skipping a week on these records, right from 4/6, which is April 6, 2015.
'Cause it's the
Now it's going
13.
to 4/13, which is a week later. Fair to say?
Yes.
And again, you have now the two phones, and this is Jeffrey's phone calling without connection the 1990 phone, the sister phone. Fair to say?
Correct.
Yeah.
And
there you
then on the same date, same time, it looks like the same exact a replica.
go. Called her again.
16-second call, no
And no
connection.
answer.
Is that fair to say?
Correct.
All right. And then the next time that these phones connect, we're in the month of May. Is that fair? May 9th?
Yes.
May 9th. Okay.
Okay, so according to these records, Jeffrey's phone and the 1990 phone connect twice. But no, I'm not saying they speak, but they try to connect twice. The 6th of April and the 13th of April, right?
Correct. Utilizing the normal voice to talk.
Absolutely. Okay.
But they didn't talk. Now let's go to Murphy.
Your Honor, may I approach and you have things? Your Honor, thank you, sir. Your public affairs, you mind taking it? Sure. In that same conversation, June Winfrey saying, if you cannot let me borrow the money, The $25,000, just to let me know.
That possibly is in there, yes.
All right. We'll have to play it because it sounds like we need to hear it directly.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay.
It's hard to hear sometimes the words, but yes.
And then remember Jimmy Winfrey saying, I need paperwork.
Come on, people who watching, I need
make
y'all
this
to
not
take
look
the
like
poll.
Street business.
It doesn't cost anything.
He asked for his name on some
Anything.
paperwork to look legitimate because he didn't want it to look like street business. I do remember that.
Through your investigation, did YSL give Mr. Winfrey any type of notation that he's employed or anything like that?
I didn't receive anything that indicated as such.
Okay. Do you by any chance have it? I do. You're awesome. Can you give me the number? Sure. And then can you give me the time? Is it relevant?
Ladies and gentlemen, while they're trying to find that to play for you, then you need to take a. How about we take 10 minutes? All right, we're gonna be in recess 10 minutes.
Prosecutor
All
economic.
rise.
Economic different. Yeah. The delay. Now, what the state is really being mean right now. They don't want to play that. They don't want to play it. They don't want to be. They don't want to play that. Being mean.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our jury has left us. You're in recess for 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah. We gonna y'all please vote because that we back, okay? The poll, please.
You know, it's already in evidence, so I'd like to play, I'm not going to play the whole thing, just a portion of State's Exhibit number 140EB. And if I could ask the Honorable Prosecutor to assist me?
No problem.
Yes. And Your Honor, that's a good point. Thank you. We're starting. We're going to 3 minutes and I have 30 seconds.
Just listen
So,
to it,
with
guys.
the court's permission.
Yes, sir.
Do me a favor, agent, just listen.
Just
You know,
listen.
it's hard to hear. I know you've listened to it a lot of times. And then just help me break it down with the jury, okay? For the jury. Thank you.
Well, I'm assuming that the finance was good.
Yes, so I gotta get the people on 40 or 50 grand. One of the 100, but I told him I gotta work out a payment plan with him. So I was gonna try to borrow 25 from y'all, and then I was gonna cause I got a little money for the insurance left that my uncle left me, and I was gonna give him the other 25 that way. Yeah, and when I was telling the next day, that day they pulled me out. They made me come to TC, and shoot, yeah, all them people trying to come up here and fuck with a motherfucking mess. I ain't said none of that. So I'm just shit. My lawyers came and seen me and stuff. And the lawyer is Manny and Lauren Zimmerman and Q,
What's his name?
Lauren Zimmerman and Manny O'Rourke. And the dude, Clear Lauren. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. People keep on calling my phone.
Yeah, if they can't do it, just let me know, and I just have to go my way about doing it with my auntie.
All right. Lawrence Zimmerman, I can see.
Okay, and Your Honor, stop right at 330. Thank you so much. Were you able to hear that again?
Yes, sir.
All right. And is it fair to say that that is a person that you believe to be Amina Diab speaking with Mr. Jimmy Winfrey?
That sounds right.
And it's the same date as we said before, June 28, 2015?
Correct.
And did you hear Mr. Winfrey asked to borrow, I'm stressing that word, borrow, $25,000 from you all? If I'm wrong, just tell the jurors what you heard.
It sounded like y'all, correct?
And that the lawyer wanted 100,000, but Mr. Winfrey may have worked it down to 50,000, and he has 25,000 from his uncle Paul, God forbid, passing
From insurance, correct?
and then he was asking to borrow 1,000.
That's what it sounded like, yes.
All right. And do you have any evidence to share with the jury that $25,000 was loaned, given, anything by YSL to Jimmy Winfrey?
I have no way of knowing how money transferred.
All right. And then we went to 3:30, and towards the end of the call, did you hear Mr. Winfrey say, if you cannot, these are my words, lend me the $25,000, just let me know, or something to that effect.
Yeah, he'll have to do it his way or through his aunt, something like that, but yes.
All right. All right, thank you. I'm not so sure I have a question. May I just have a minute?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, sir.
He did real good on them phone calls. But I want y'all to answer that poll. Please answer that poll. Mr. Steele did a good job with that analyzing that those cell phone calls. I ain't gonna tell you the answer, but
Do you remember speaking with Mr. Jeffrey Williams?
This is. You can.
Step down, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Steele pulled one on them. But why they got to go up to the up there? Why they got up there? Mr. Steele pulled one on them. Mr. Steele pulled one on them prosecutors then. Y'all going up there. So y'all can hear what she saying to them. They think they slick. Yeah, Mr. Steele pulled one on them. I like Mr. Steele. Mr. Steele put one on them. Y'all, I'm gonna skip it. Oh, hold up. My boy talking now. Uh-oh. Hold on.
From your experience, text messages are available to be retrieved when under subpoena?
Are we speaking about content or are we speaking about just the fact that text messages were sent?
Let's take them in categories. Let's talk about, first of all, let's talk about the text message itself in terms of the communication, not the content, but the communication. How long does that hang around?
Depends on the subscriber.
Okay. Do you have a range in terms of from subscriber to subscriber?
So we utilize a cheat sheet that I have on my desktop computer, but it's a work product that FBI Cast has put out, but it tells you each subscriber and their duration of time in which they keep those records. It varies from some subscribers for 1 year, or it could be extended more, a handful of years. They've drawn back over the last few years because the amount of text messages have been sent are larger nowadays versus 20 years ago, right? So it changes, but I'd at least say a year per company, they at least keep it about a year.
So the fact that a text message is sent from one device to another device, that actual communication or that print would hang around for about a year or so, correct?
And to be specific, we're talking about traditional text message utilizing service providers. And we're not talking about WhatsApp or encrypted applications, but just standard text message to text message. Typically, it's at least a year. Just the fact that a text message was sent, yes.
Okay. Let's shift over to the substance or the content of a text message.
Yes.
Tell the jury how long would the content or the substance of a text message, how long would that hang around?
So it's pretty much not anymore. There's, they used to, again, probably years ago, when I first started my law enforcement career, you were able to get a search warrant and see content. Again, it was dependent upon company, and there's a million different caveats in there. But over the years, as text messages grew, more frequent text messages than the actual our phone calls, people send more text messages. And so service providers stopped retaining that data. It's just too much data. There might be one company, I'd have to look at the cheat sheet, but there's one company maybe out there that retains it maybe for 3 days, and you'd have to have a preservation request in, or just get lucky with a search warrant within 3 days. But that might have changed since the last time I've looked at that cheat sheet. So from the outside, sending a legal process to a service provider, you don't expect to see content anymore in investigations.
Okay. If you actually, let's say you're investigating a case and you actually have a phone of interest, the contents of that particular phone, provided those contents are not deleted, they would remain in the phone. Is that correct?
So there's caveats in everything in investigations. First, you have to be able to have the physical device. Then you have to be able to access the physical device. Is it encrypted? What type of passcode? There's a million caveats in there. Is it a 4-digit passcode, a 6-digit passcode? Is it alphanumeric, 15-digit? There's a million caveats. But if you can get into the device, there's settings within your phone that you can have text messages delete after 30 days. There's, well, are we talking about iPhones? Are we talking about Androids? There's so many caveats.
The phones that you.
But can you, in the perfect situation, get a phone, have the password, or be able to bypass the password, dump the text messages? Absolutely, you can do that. There's so many caveats, and we're speaking broadly, so I don't want to give an answer that locks it in, but that's only like one specific situation. But there's a lot of caveats. But yes, theoretically, you can get a cell phone,
Right. So
get a tool and extract text messages. Yes.
Right. So if
Hey,
you have the
Benny.
password and you have the access, you should be able to have that content in that particular cell phone, right?
Again, there's a million caveats out there, so I don't want to lock in the tool, the forensic tool that's being utilized, such as Cellbrite or Axiom. They also have to have compatibility with that device. I've had it where I've gotten a search warrant, had access, but
Put
those
these glasses
tools
on.
aren't compatible with the cell phone. So there's inability
doing
to actually
okay.
extract the data. Again,
How
this
you doing?
technology, there's a million caveats out there. But theoretically, yes, if you have access, you have a passcode, you have a legal process, it does fit, the
I'm
software
doing
does
good.
fit compatibility with the forensic tool. Yes, you can plug it in, and yes, you can download that information in that scenario.
Now, in terms of tracking the cell phone as it relates to the phone's location, that obviously would play into where the tower is located in terms of where that range of where that phone's going to be located.
Again, there's another caveat in there. So you have cell phone, what we call cell site, historical cell site data that tells you where the cell site is. And without going into it, a direction, an azimuth, a cell sector. But then there's also phone companies that do things called RTT, NELOS, and there's another one, I think PTT, I might be mistaken it, but RTT stands for real-time tracking. AT&T does NELOS. So, for example, NELOS, AT&T, now more modern days, they will send a ping to your phone every 15 minutes. Yeah. And so that is a ping. That is not cell tower data. So today, if I were to get a search warrant on an AT&T phone, for example, ask for cell site data and ask for NELOS data, I can get both cell tower, cell sector information, and I can actually also get those 15-minute pings, which is not cell sector. That is a ping on the device. So again, you're getting into the technology of it, but there's a lot of caveats in what we're saying.
So when you're having a conversation with your person that you're targeting, if you would, and you have their phone, you're looking through their phone.
Great questions.
And when you know through your investigation, through maybe even a conversation with your target, that they are aware, they are located where the alleged victim claims that they were meeting.
That's so sweet.
Cell phone evidence is less probative, correct?
So let me get my glasses.
When it comes to cell phone technology and locating phones and tracking them, you're less concerned about tracking the phone when there's no disagreement about the location of the two people, correct?
I mean, I think I know where you're going with the question. So the value of evidence can change based off of certain external information, certainly. Yeah, I would just leave it at that. The value of the evidence certainly matters upon external information. If that makes sense, if that answer makes sense.
Okay. And basic good police work, if you have the phone in your possession of your target, you're going to more than likely print out those text messages if there are some, correct?
Not necessarily. There's some, again, every investigation is different. I don't want to comment on every investigation everywhere all the time. It depends on.
Well, you have to answer those questions.
I've been a narcotics agent. I've been a crime against persons detective, and now a special agent with the federal government. There's different types of cases, different importance.
She's trying to get him to hush.
Volume of cases. There's a lot of factors that go in there.
Look at prosecutor trying to get him to hush.
I can't. You can't box in and say you do this every time as a matter of investigative practice. I can't tell you that I do dump cell phones on every single case that I do, even as a federal agent. I don't do that on every case.
She's trying to get the witness attention, y'all. Look.
If one of your parties is telling you that, just for example, if if there's a conflict in the versions of events, you would certainly want all of the evidence that you can to. If there's a conflict in events, Agent Racy, you would want every medium of evidence that you can get your hands on in terms of cell phone technology to help clear it up in terms of whatever that conflict is, correct?
What?
Thank you, Agent Racy.
Yes, sir.
Any other examiners? Defense examiners? Hi, Mr. Weinstein.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Let me just speak to the state for one moment. I'm going to need you also to pull up the jail calls 140 EB, specifically the June 6, 2015, 1958 call. Okay? And you want to cue that up to 14 minutes, I think. Thank you for your help.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to this phone call.
Good afternoon, Agent Racy.
And then I'm going to get my summary.
It's good to see you again.
I got to charge my phone up.
I have a question about your testimony from this past Monday.
Yes, sir.
Do you recall on Monday listening to a jail call with Mr. Winfrey from June 6, 2015 at 1958 hours?
I remember that, yes.
And do you remember testifying that you heard someone that identified themselves as Yak, or who was called Yak, state, quote, roll out the red carpet for Roscoe, unquote?
I do remember the red carpet and that, yes, sir.
Okay. What I'd like to do is I'd like to play the portion of that call starting when Yak gets on the call. And I'd like you to ask me to stop when you hear roll out the red carpet for Roscoe. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, one moment, please.
They don't want to work it out. They don't want to play it. Them boys on it, boy. They old men now. They old men now. They little old men now. Woo, they were 15, 16, 17, 18 on up during that time, but they old men now. Got a little gray in their hair and everything. Them boys don't have a rough life, boy. Don't have a rough life. But good looking though. They nice looking. There go my son. That's not my son, y'all. I just called him my son. They know how to do it. They just don't want to help him do it. State something else, boy. After this recording, y'all, I'm gonna get my conclusion, and I'm gonna try to skip a little bit because I need to charge my phone up. And I may be on later on, and I don't know. They're talking about relationship. They trying to act like they don't know what to do to help him.
We're going to play 140 Echo Bravo. I believe this clip we're about to play is the clip that I was looking for. If it's not, I'll stop it and we'll figure it out. Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Roscoe, you did what the fuck I'm saying. I ain't doing shit, man. Just holding it down. Just got us there with all these niggas. Yeah, I go to court on the 16th or the 17th. But my lawyer, what the lawyer say was?
They were gonna try to get it this week.
They don't file for a motion. I was just calling to checking on your ass. What you got going, man? Tell everybody I said what they motherfucking do. Hey, man, you won't believe this shit, dude. Motherfucker got down yak. Know this nigga got about 50 pictures of yak and Malik on his bunk, man. Little young nigga. He got a picture with yak. Yeah. Nah. Hey, what little buddy man, little light skin boy? He be with little bounce, Simpson. The light skin, what that light skin boy now with the dread? Peso. Yeah, Peso. Yeah, little young nigga. Yeah, we fight up, man. They got the town turned. Huh? What you say, bro? You understand? You understand? You did what the fuck I'm saying? Hey, boy, you know, got the town on lock, kid. These folks ripping hell, boy. You hear me, man? These folks ripping. Man, no bullshit, man. These folks, that little motherfucker ain't no jump, no got slide. Man, they treat nigga like the Pope in here, man. Yeah, you know, your main motherfucker, man. You understand? That sure do, but oh man, the whole joint, everybody got stars right here. No, you know we pay for waste, right? Yeah, hey man, it's still here. These folks love your motherfucking head down here, man. No jump, up. We were better for the justice. I was for the justice. You know what I'm saying? Then we ended up winning. So I was out these folks know your motherfucking head, boy.
He just talking.
The whole motherfucking joint, bro. These folks slime, everybody slime, bro. He said they treat it like the Lord. Yeah, man, real. Hey, listen, man, everything in here slime out, boy. Everything. Man, them folks ain't going back.
He talk too much.
Look here, man. Everything in here slime out, man. Everything, man. Nigga got a picture of Yak, Malik, the whole motherfucking crew on one of their beds, little nigga, little Peso. He got a picture called Yak and Malik, the big homie. They call you the real big homie. My little homie. Yeah. Hey, Peso. He 100. Yeah, the little nigga, hey, Yak, nigga, fuck, you strong. He got the man got the wire seal on his back and everything. He turned up. He got the wide seal in the stars, in the 5-star. The man got a picture.
Can't trust all of them.
I'm like, hell, no, they can't be that. He's like, but he's my phone. I ain't going. Man, listen, right here. Yo.
Can you pause it just a second?
We do. Come on, wait this show.
Okay. Now, did you hear that he said, here's Yak right here?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it sounds like Yak is about to get on the call, correct?
Presumably,
Okay.
yes.
Can you continue playing, Mr. Atkins?
I said, what the hell they come up? Shit, ain't talking about nothing, bro. Got really, they just got done rhyme. They got a court date for that month at the beginning of the month. So shit, hopefully by then they let me out of something. Yeah. Hey, make sure Roscoe good, man. I've been trying to get in touch with him. Yeah. You know, I got him, man. They feel bad, man. You know, I got him. Well, I'm gonna blow y'all niggas ass up, man. What's this thing down there when we get back to Roscoe? Yeah, what's up? What is? Hey, yeah, you got your clear, yeah. These folks singing y'all music, bro. It's on God, man. These folks singing the music, man. The folks beating the whole wall down from 11 to 5 in the morning.
He talked too much. On the jail phone.
The whole dorm. The whole dorm slides out. Straight up. Man, what? These folks love y'all, boy. No Jeff.
Talk too much.
Hey, man, this down jump like that. You the last motherfucker I expect to see, man. Folks got to picture your motherfucker ass on the bed, man. Yeah, man, my big brother, man. You know, he got a picture of you with Lee. I think you was at the Found Blue, yeah, we had that weed outfit on. The stone outfit.
He talked too much.
Yeah, man.
He know what he doing.
Got this motherfucker, man, in no time. Did that for a major comeback, you did.
Talk too much.
Okay. Did you ever hear, when listening to it again, even though you testified on Monday that you had heard Yak say, roll out the red carpet for Roscoe, did you hear Yak say, roll out the red carpet for Roscoe right then?
On this trip, I'll know.
You did not? Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Told a lie.
Any further defense examiners? All right, any redirect from the state? Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna skip it. Okay, what I'm gonna do, usually when they get up in a bunch. Okay, hold on. What's going on right here? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Oh, he running his ass.
Yes.
I would like to, before the agent leaves, ask him questions about topics that would be under the rule of completeness. I heard what you said. I respect what you said. I'm not trying to get the ire of the court. I'm not saying you're upset. I'm just saying, to me, it's relevant right now. Like, for instance,
Mr. Steele, sir, can you step outside for a second, please? Stand fast. Okay. The whole premise, Mr. Steele, is that it's self-serving at this point in time for you to be able to elicit that particular information. If and when you decide that you should call or wish to present a defense on behalf of Mr. Williams, then I will make rulings as to the rule of completeness and other grounds. It's just not presentable now. I'm not saying you can't, but I in no way want for you not to understand and for the court to impress upon you. You don't have the right, you don't have the responsibility to present anything right now. I know you told me, it's going to be 7 months before we get a chance to elicit this particular evidence, but the court recognizes your right at this point in time to not present anything, and the burdens of states. So we've covered that in great detail a number of times.
Yes,
I'll respect
they have.
Continue objection on the issue, but that's my ruling at this point.
I understand. Can I just give one example and then I will do it?
Mr. Steele.
Still going to ask me at this point in time.
Mr. Steele, don't do that.
Even though we've covered this
don't do that, Mr. Steele.
7 or 8 times at this point in time, because you made this point at critical junctions that you believe are important. So I'm fully aware of the issue. I really am.
Oh, okay. I will put it in writing. It's just, to me, when the state, this is what I wanted to say. I'm going too far. I'm not trying to waste any time or anyone's time. When the state says, you noticed that there was a beef, I think that's the word, between, and the answer is Lil Wayne and Young Thug or Jeffrey Williams, I believe that under the rule of completeness, I could put in a statement.
That's right.
Of Jeffrey Williams on July 15, 2015, with this detective, with the, excuse me.
Yes, you can. And to quote a famous politician, yes, you can. But you just can't do it now. Okay?
Now, but I'm going to obviously go to the.
Okay, yes, you can, but it's just the law doesn't provide you the ability to do that now because it's self-serving.
You can't do it right now, but you can.
I'm not
It's self-serving.
All right, y'all, let me skip it.
Like I said, if you.
Okay. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna stop right here. Okay, I asked y'all. I had a poll there. I asked y'all to take that poll for me. I mean, it's not like I'm begging y'all for money, like that. Especially when you watch it and you viewing the video, watching the channel, and you're a subscriber of mine. I need for y'all to take that poll and hit that like button, get these likes up. Okay, it's not easy as y'all think it is to sit over here and react and listen to these videos. I'm gonna do my summary. When Mr. Steele from the defense team, he did an excellent job on those cell phone, on the cell phone information. None of those calls has nothing. Thug didn't talk to none of those guys doing on the 26th. He didn't communicate with nobody. I don't care who was trying to contact him. He did not respond. Now, this is going to be the same problem in NW. What is that Melly? All that NW, all that stuff. The phone records. Who on that phone? Anybody can use. I can use your phone. You remember this same phone information came up in Melly's case. That guy said that everybody used that cell phone. Okay, just because Murphy was calling, he didn't connect to. He didn't connect at all to Young Thugger. He didn't connect to him at all. But he did try to call his sister back. So I can see now family is very important to him. But y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And hey, I ain't going nowhere. I done been all along. Hey. I think this is 78 or 79th day, 78 or 79th day. I can't remember everything because other cases that I work on. But I appreciate y'all. Now, relationship, I haven't forgot y'all. I haven't forgot y'all. We're going to talk to the mess. I'm out of here, y'all. Thanks for watching.